Percy's speech title is Reflection on My Pathway. It's a 10 to 12 minute speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to reflect on his or her growth during the completion of an entire path. The speech is for the member to share an aspect of his growth during the completion of the path. So he's going to tell us about how he grew going from Pathways Level 1 to Pathways Level 5 where he is now. The member is completing the last speech of his path and may speak on any aspects of his journey. It may be persuasive, humorous, informational or crafted in any style that appeals to the member and supports the speech content. The speech length is 10 to 12 minutes. Mr. Toastmaster.
Gentlemen, please welcome our VPE, Percy Mabizela, on his speech titled Reflection on My Path, Reflection on My Path, Percy Mabizela.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Toastmaster. Gentlemen, good evening. Our distinguished visitors, you're also very welcome. And I'm not sure whether I should call tonight a coincidence or maybe just a perfect alignment of stars. Why am I saying that? It is because today we just inducted another member into Forum Toastmasters, and my topic is on a reflection on my journey since I started Toastmasters and I got onto the Pathways educational program. So this is something very interesting for incoming members to hear. And on top of that, the theme for our meeting tonight is stage fright. Overcoming that barrier of stage fright. So I really feel all this, it is relevant for us because that's the main reason that we joined Toastmasters in the first place, that we improve public speaking and then overcome this barrier of stage fright. Now, gentlemen, I joined Forum Toastmasters back in 2019. It is approximately 3 years now since I've been a member of Forum, and I joined pretty much the same year with Bert and Rain. And then in 2019, when we joined Toastmasters, a year into our Toastmasters journey, in 2020 March, that's when this pandemic broke out. And then ever since the pandemic broke out, that meant no more physical meetings, that meant life has changed, and that meant everything. Mostly our meetings were online. But we proceeded. We went on with it. From around March 2020 up until August 2021, we have been meeting online. And to be perfectly honest, these challenges and these obstacles that are coming with the COVID-19 and the online meetings, they did not deter me from achieving my goals. Because as I'm speaking to you this evening, standing in front of you in this meeting, I am completing my first path, which is almost like that module that one started with when I began my Toastmasters journey in 2019. Just to mention some of the accomplishments that I've had so far. In Toastmasters, we are not only training in public speaking. And I never had any confidence in my leadership skills up until I joined Toastmasters. Because in this organization, I was given an opportunity to occupy leadership position in the club office. I've had the honor of becoming a vice president membership. I've also sat in the position of vice president public relations. Currently, I'm serving as the vice president membership. So all these opportunities, empowering the individual, keen on learning public speaking skills, also with leadership skills. And then my one highlight that I would also like to mention tonight, it is competing in a speech contest last year. Now, never did I imagine in my wildest dreams that someone as shy as I am, and someone who sometimes stutter when they speak, can they really compete in a speech contest? But there I was, and I came out second place. I could have won the competition, but unfortunately I got disqualified because I spoke longer than the time that was allocated to me. I spoke a few minutes over than my time limit. So that ended up in me being disqualified, and I ended up not winning. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. I ended up becoming too comfortable on stage that I couldn't see that my time has lapsed. And this comfort on stage, it is a skill that I gained through Pathways, or through being registered on Pathways here in Toastmasters. In my very first few months after joining Toastmasters, I would ask myself, we are only meeting 2 times a month, and I'd probably give a 5 minutes to 7 minute speech. How and how fast am I going to improve? And then I remembered, like most things in my life, that most things that is worth having, they don't come by easy. You need to strive. You need to try real hard for anything that's worth having. And then this reminder, it made me understood that no, Toastmaster, it's a journey. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme where I can come here and then I stand in front of gentlemen for 3 months, and then I walk out of 3 months, I'm a professional speaker, and I start charging high prices. It doesn't work like that. This is a journey. It's not an overnight celebrity type of thing where you go to a singing competition like whatever pop idols, and when you get there, you don't even know the business behind music, but just because the judges feel like they like you and then they decide that you are a winner for competition, you are an overnight celebrity, and the day after that you can't maintain your career in that industry, and then you are fall off the wagon. Toastmasters is a journey. Embarking on this Toastmasters journey, you get signed up, you register on the Pathways, because the Pathways is our educational program here at Toastmasters. The path that I'm completing right now is engaging humor, and I have my eyes set on my next path, which is visionary communication. There are quite a number of paths that we have in our Pathways. There's also motivational strategies, there's also persuasive influence. And there's that other path that you mentioned to me, Perky, the one that you said you're mostly interested in, and that is the presentation mastery. So these are different paths that we have in Toastmasters. And inside of these paths, you progress your educational journey or your public speaking journey through different levels. You heard Alan speaking about he's doing a level 1 speech, which is his first speech in this new path that he just registered or just signed up for, and I am on level 5. So at this level where I'm on level 5, this is the most advanced level in any pathway. This is the level that you get to when you have finished your path, when you've had some form of, when you've had a journey with Toastmasters to the point that you finish your path. So I'm on that level. I'm on level 5 now, and my experience with all the different levels in my path is that level 5 is the one that's a little bit challenging, because it is in level 5 where I got to prepare and deliver longer speeches. And I'd never imagined that I can stand up and deliver a speech that's 18 to 20 minutes. But it is in level 5 where I've had to practice delivering longer speeches than usual. And then also in level 5, one thing that I'm also proud of is the fact that I've also got to prepare and deliver a humorous speech which was 18 to 20 minutes. Now, I don't know how I got Toastmasters laughing and smiling for the whole 18 to 20 minutes, but then the speech was done successfully. And then also in level 5, not only was I focusing on humor, I also did some professional presentation skills, like the speech I was doing last week. It was an 18 to 20 minute speech that is on professional presentation skills. And then across these other different levels within my path, on level 3, level 2, level 4, level 1, there are also different learning objectives. In level 1, as Alan had said, I did my icebreaker, and it is also in level 1 where I learned the skill of evaluating another member's speech and then giving them feedback. Different type of skills we learn here. We also learn how to research and present a well-researched speech, because presenting a speech is one thing. Researching and presenting a well-researched speech, then it's another thing. Then it requires its own art. And there's so many things, there's so many outcomes that one is going to gain from the levels in the Toastmasters Pathways. I remember in another level, I was also learning how to do impromptu speech. So I was just speaking unprepared and also incorporating that with humor. And not only did I learn skill inside Toastmasters, what have I learned outside Toastmasters? What skills have I learned for outside Toastmasters? Yes, I've improved my public speaking skills, and I've also gained more confidence in speaking to a larger group, to the point that I've started, I've always had these social media channels, but it is recently after being signed up on my pathways that I started creating some video content for my social media platforms and then just posting them. Although I'm not as active as I'd like to be, but at least there is that presence. And then I see it also in my social life, in social gatherings. I've become that guy that I would be circled by a lot of people interested in everything that I say. Up to the point where my brother's friends from a gathering we had in December, they started harassing me with phone calls now, trying to be my friend. So it is that. There's just so many improvements. And then one that's more important, one thing that I will take with me, even if I'm to forget all these public speaking skills, it's the organization skill that one gets from Toastmaster and the importance of understanding protocol. Because recently there has been an accident in a match in Cameroon, in African Cup of Nations match in Cameroon, that resulted in 9 people dead and 40 people injured. Now, I'm not sure if this is the ultimate truth, but reporters say this is because of the negligence of a certain aspect of the protocol, a certain aspect of how things are supposed to go, the procedures that things are supposed to go. So now, fellow incoming members and fellow Toastmasters, I'm going to tell you what Rob and Numiso told me. That if you want to improve public speaking, any opportunity to speak, you grab it. You grab it with both hands. You grab it with all your might, with your elbows, with your knees, with your feet. You grab it, you wrestle with it. You take every opportunity to speak.